Hello, welcome to part two. All right, you should be on the back side now. We're going to answer this question number 7 about financial literacy. And this is basically the idea where what's the best deal? Let's say you go and buy something and there's 3 different sizes. You don't know what's the best deal. Okay, so let's see. Jamal is comparing prices of several different brands of peanuts. Which brand is the best buy? Okay, we're going to assume there's no other factors other than the cheapest. All right, so we're looking for the cheapest here. We want the cheapest. Not the overall cheapest price, but the best deal. In other words, the most peanuts for your dollar. So you find that by finding the unit rate. And the unit rate, okay, and this is important that you understand what we want is we want to know how many dollars per ounce are we paying for each of these different types of peanuts. How much am I paying for 1 ounce of peanuts in all these 3? Because notice that each of these sizes are different sizes. Okay, so the smallest one is the cheapest, but that doesn't mean it's the best deal. Okay, and oftentimes the largest one is the best deal. Most of the times in real life, that's how it works. The bigger you buy, the cheaper you pay per, in this case, ounce. But we can prove it. Let's decide if that really is the case. So we want to compare dollars per ounce. Now remember that the word per means divide. So we want to divide the dollars divided by the ounces for each of these and then see which one is the cheapest. So the first one is barrel. Okay, his price is $3.39 for 10 ounces. So to find the unit rate, we're going to go $3.39 divided by 10. The reason we do it that way is because it's dollars divided by ounces. Okay, dollars per ounce. The labels will tell you what to do. You want dollars per 1 ounce, so you divide that up. That's actually pretty easy math for us here. 339 divided by 10 works out to be 0.339. Now let's leave, even though with cents we would normally round that off to 34. Let's not do that yet, because when we compare, the numbers are so small, we might need to go out to an extra place value. So let's call that the first one. Okay, the second one, so that's the unit rate. It's that many dollars per ounce. Okay, the second one is Mr. Nut. So we sometimes call Mr. Frizzell, Mr. Nut. All right, Mr. Nut, his price is $4.54, so we want dollars per ounce, 4.54 divided by 14 ounces. Okay, so we divide that out, punch that in your calculator, and you should get, these are dollars or cents in this case, 0.324 per ounce. Okay, so up to this point, I know that so far number 2 is the better deal because I'm paying less. And again, we're going to say the quality of the peanuts are exactly the same, the taste is exactly the same. We're only comparing which one are you getting more for your money. So I know that number 1 is not the answer, okay, because that costs more. Even though it's a smaller package and you're paying more for every ounce of peanuts there. Well, let's look to see if Chips peanuts are the best deal, because often in real life the biggest ones are. So to find Chips, we are going to take its price is $6.26 and we're going to divide it by the ounces. 6.26 divided by 18 ounces. It's dollars divided by ounces. Grab my calculator, punch that in, and I get this is really interesting. I got 0.347 repeating. 34 that's actually the worst deal in this case, so that's not it either. So my best deal is number 2. Mr. Nut is the best deal because you're paying the least money, least dollars per ounce. And you found it. All right. right, so that we're actually going to be doing that a lot, and that's a really valuable life thing for you to be aware of, okay, and how to find the best deal. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for you, you're thinking stores typically now have the unit rates printed on the little tags when you go to the grocery store that has the price tag. If you look for the word unit or unit price, they're telling you how much you're paying for 1 ounce. This is how you find the best deals of different things that you like to buy a lot of. Okay, last question here, number 8. Let's look at one more application. Aisha drove 170 miles in 2.5 hours. At the same rate, how far will she drive in 4 hours? Okay, we're going to solve this. I'm going to show you how to do this by using the unit rate. It could actually be solved a couple of ways, but right now we're going to use a unit rate. Later on, we'll solve the same kind of problem with a proportion, which is really easy also. But it begins by identifying the labels. So you're trying to find, let's begin with, what are you trying to find when you're done? You're trying to find how far she will drive in 4 hours. Okay, so the question is, how far will she go in 1 hour? Okay, well that is whatever the unit rate is. Okay, so we want to know miles. So we're going to find miles per 1 hour. All right, see the per, that means divide. So you take the miles, which is 170, and divide that by 2.5 hours. All right, so grab your calculator, punch in 170, divide by 2.5, and you should get 68 miles per 1 hour. Okay, so that's the first part, but it's not the answer to the question, but it's a piece that we need. All right, the second thing we want to do is multiply times 4, because you want, the question asked you, how far they go in 4 hours. So to answer that question, or to finish it, we're going to go 68 times 4, which is 272 miles in 4 hours. And that's the answer to the question. Now you'll notice that 272, that's not the unit rate. Okay, the unit rate is this right here. But they asked you to tell how many she went 4 hours. I was just showing you how to solve that particular problem by using the unit rate there. Find out how far she went in 1, multiply by 4. Problem turns pretty simple for you. So there you go. Rewatch the video if you need to until you feel like you're comfortable solving unit rates. See you in class.